let's get back to the UN vote. Happy stuff, right? To adopt a resolution condemning Jewish settlements in Israel. America abstained in that UN vote. It went forward and was enacted. Ambassador John Bolton is here. And Ambassador, I'm reading your opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal under the heading Obama's Parting Betrayal of Israel. You say that the refusal to use Washington's veto was more than a graceless parting gesture. Explain.
Well, the resolution itself is a very, very significant shift of American policy. And I mean American policy going back 50 years. It really reverses the iconic Resolution 242 that people are always referring to, the resolution adopted at the end of the 1967 war, which established what we all call land for peace, the idea that Israel gives back territories that it won in battle, both in the 67 and the 73 wars, and in return the Arab states respectively make peace. So that's what the Camp David Peace Accord of 1979 was about. Israel gives up the Sinai Peninsula back to Egypt. Egypt and Israel signed Camp David. This resolution, in effect, says it's not Israel's to give back. It's illegal that they're there, and activity in these occupied territories really is something that foreign governments can impose sanctions on Israel for engaging in. So it's not about Israeli settlements except superficially. What it's about is buying the Palestinian politico-legal narrative since 1948 and trying to pressure Israel to give up the settlement activity.
All right, Ambassador, I wanted to move on to another subject, China. We've talked about this moving an aircraft carrier into the South China Sea. How significant is this in your mind? Another sign of aggression for sure from China, but should we be concerned?
Yeah, this is China's only aircraft carrier, and you'll notice it looks suspiciously like Russia's only aircraft carrier, and that's because China bought this hulk from it a couple decades ago and finally put it out to sea. But let's be clear, you can't say this enough. This is not a trip into international waters in China's view. They think the South China Sea is already a province of China. They've got a provincial capital. They're building out the islands, as we all see in the newspapers very frequently, and putting air and naval bases on them. So this aircraft carrier just sort of like part of the Chinese Coast Guard under their view of things. And it's a thumb in the eye, I think, to the United States. They know how constrained our Navy is. It's telling the other nations bordering the South China Sea, Philippines, Vietnam, and others, we can do this, and the Americans can't do anything about it. Another bad sign of the world that Obama is leaving the new Trump administration.
Yeah, be interesting to see how the Trump administration reacts to these sorts of provocations, if you like. Ambassador John Bolton, thank you so much, as always, for